You are Locked On Lakers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Lakers wrap up the 4-game homestand in style. Anthony Davis is back, and LeBron James sets another NBA record. We talk about it all on the Locked On Lakers POSTCAST. I'm Dave Palais. First of all, let's get ready to tackle the NFL season with FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. So it's a big night for the Los Angeles Lakers. They wrap up their 4-game homestand with a 3-1 record. For the Lakers, the only loss on this homestand came against the Cavs. Of course, it was disappointing. You want to win them all, but for the Lakers, at least they finished the homestand with the winning record. At the same time, they take care of business against the Atlanta Hawks, winning 119-102. So it was a big night for the Lakers because so many things are on the line. Number one, it's a back-to-back. Two is, can they get revenge against Atlanta Hawks for a game that was one of the worst losses of the season early on when the Lakers had a chance to win? If you recall, it was the Lakers that their miscues cost them, and it was Trae Young that hits the game-winning three. It was heartbreaking. It was one of those where it was the end of a road trip where the Lakers had to fly back after a disappointing loss from Atlanta. Could they get paid back tonight against the Hawks? And they absolutely did. So Lakers, again, they win 119-102. Had everything tonight. Had LeBron James, had Anthony Davis back in the starting lineup. A lot of good news. And at the same time, you also had the new guys to figure out what their role was going to be. And also, could some guys get back on track? A lot of good things happened tonight. We're going to discuss it all. Again, I appreciate your comments throughout the show. If you have a comment on what you see, what you like, what you think the team needs to do to be a little bit better, I'm here for all of it. Again, my name is Dave Palais. I've covered the Lakers for a number of years as a credentialed member of the media. But now here I am talking post-game basketball with you again on the Locked On Lakers post-game show. And again, I'm here with you every single game. So also, you can follow me on social media. My name's right there in the corner of the screen. If you have a question, you want to direct message me, I will answer all comments as well. But if you're a Laker fan like me, this is the show that you need to be part of. Also, if you love your Laker coverage, don't forget about Brian and Andy. They're here every single day for you. I'm just here for the post game. Brian and Andy do a great job on Locked On Lakers every single day. So again, your chance to follow them. Again, this show and every other show can be heard anywhere you get your podcast. So recommend you check out the other things we have to offer concerning Los Angeles sports, Locked On Los Angeles. All right, let's check things out. We'll start off right at the beginning. We're going to go right from the first quarter. So it was great to see that the starting lineup looked like the starting lineup. Nothing against Jackson Hayes, but when Jackson Hayes, comes off an injury and he's starting for Anthony Davis, it's a little disappointing. It's a step back because Anthony Davis is one of the best. He's a guy who's going to be a future Hall of Famer, gold medal winner, and he has that special chemistry with LeBron. AD misses last night's game, comes back today, second game of back-to-backs for the Lakers. And it was great to see the gang back together. Let's get an idea of what this Laker team really is, because we want to know how far can they possibly go. If you're a Laker fan like me, you understand that unless you win a championship, the season was a waste. So you have Anthony Davis in the lineup. You have Rui back in the lineup. You have Austin Reeves in the lineup. You have Max Christie in the lineup, and then you have LeBron James. So things are going great in that situation. Everything's looking good for the Lakers. Lakers outscored the Hawks in the first quarter, 31-28. They're off to a good start. Lakers shot 48% from the field. They made 17% from behind the arc. They struggled there. They struggled again in three-point shooting, 1 of 7 just in the first quarter. But Anthony Davis stepped up big. It wasn't one of those where Anthony Davis put his toe in the water. He came out like a wrecking ball. Anthony Davis led the Lakers with 10 points, 7 rebounds. LeBron James, 6 points, 4 assists. And Rui, this was, to me, the bright spot in the quarter, because we've discussed a lot this week about, since the trade that sent D'Angelo Russell to the Nets, what's happened to Rui. A lot of rumors that Dorian Finney-Smith was going to be a person that could be a starter for the Lakers, and maybe it rubbed Rui the wrong way. I don't know. In that situation, not in the locker room, not understanding what's going through Rui's head, but, fearful that maybe he's looking over his shoulder a little bit, and he has struggled since the trade. Even though it shouldn't affect him at all, he knows the guys on the floor better than anybody. He has not played well the last couple nights. He came out, though, in the first quarter and right off the bat, he scored 6 points. So we're like, okay, good. The old Rui is back. The ultimate team player, a guy who fits perfect with superstars and Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Rui in the first quarter with 6 points. For the Hawks, they shot 39% from the field, 37% from three-point range, making just 3 of 8. Now, always Trae Young is the person, when you think about the Hawks, about who's the person that can hurt you. Trae Young did this against the Lakers in the first game, where wasn't really effective, also wasn't a guy that you were fearful of, but Trae Young finished on fire for the Hawks the first time they faced the Lakers. Trae Young in the first quarter only had 5 points. You knew he was going to get his, and he did. We'll get into the part of the game where Trae Young kind of took over for the Hawks. Jalen Johnson, if you're not a diehard NBA fan, you don't watch a lot of games, Jalen Johnson's a tremendous rebounder, very good player for the Hawks. 7 points, 3 rebounds for them. But again, the Lakers outscored the Hawks in the first quarter, 31-28. So there's an advantage there. What can the Lakers do to extend that lead? Well, the Lakers, in fact, they got a little bit of a shot in the arm right there. Dalton Knecht, who's been missing his shot. Dalton Knecht came out and he shot the lights out in the second quarter, and he was nailing 3-pointers. And so for the Lakers, this is big that you depend so much on a rookie, but for a team that's not a very good 3-point shooting team in the Lakers, it's important that guys like Austin Reeves and Dalton Knecht, they make their threes. The Rui with the open 3, he makes his threes. The Lakers have had too many guys who aren't good 3-point shooters firing the ball up from behind the arc throughout the year, and it hasn't helped them. Whether it's an Anthony Davis, who's not a great 3-point shooter, or it's Cam Reddish, nothing against those guys, but that's not what they're in the game for. You know, those guys are supposed to be either defenders, or those guys are supposed to be guys that get the ball in their hands and get it to the guys who can score. Anthony Davis, of course, is fine outside the paint, fine and really outside 15 to 17 feet. But as far as a 3-point specialist, he's not the guy you want shooting threes nonstop. He's just not that player. Lakers tried it a few years ago, and he wasn't that player then. That's why it was important that Dalton Knecht came out and he shot really well. So the Lakers did well in the second quarter. Again, they outscore the Hawks by 5, 34-29, and they go into the half with a lead of 65-57. At one point, the Lakers had a 10-point lead in the second quarter at 65-55. They finished with an 8-point lead going into the half. And for the Lakers, it looked like this, the halftime numbers. It was Anthony Davis first half double-double. Again, Anthony Davis came out, hey, I missed last night, guys. I'm here. I'm going to get double the effort tonight. 17 points, 11 rebounds for Anthony Davis in the first half. LeBron James, 14 points, 5 assists in the first half. He also made 6 of 8 shots. That's big. For LeBron to know that, hey, the shots are falling. I want to see LeBron continue to take the ball to the basket. But one thing LeBron James, especially now later in his career, he's become a streaky shooter. I mean, when he's on fire, we all know it. We all see, okay, tonight's LeBron's night from behind the arc. He feels like he can shoot from anywhere and he can make it. Well, tonight was one of those nights where LeBron again shot well. 6 of 8, no wasted shots, did what he's supposed to do. But this is the kind of team that LeBron likes to play with, where he's involved. He's obviously, proud of his game. Not one of those where I guess tonight I'm just rebounding and assists and maybe end up with 18. LeBron knew, hey, I can score at will. So in the first half with 14 points, 5 assists, LeBron's doing well. Dalton Knecht, 11 points in just 10 minutes, made all 3 of his 3-point attempts from behind the arc. And that was a big step for the Lakers right there. So really important to see what the Lakers were doing. And for Dalton Knecht to be part of it is only going to help this team if they can rely on him. The problem is they haven't been able to rely on him consistently, and it hurts them. For the Hawks, Jalen Johnson, as I mentioned before, underrated player in this league, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Trae Young, 9 points. Dyson Daniels, 9 points, 2 rebounds. For the Lakers, shooting-wise, the Lakers made 51% of their shots from the field. The Hawks compared to 45%. Lakers shot, again, 5 of 13 from 3-point range. That's a 39%. Not bad. JJ Redick will take that any day. So will we as Laker fans. The Hawks shot 45% from the field. Again, 4 of 16 from 3, 25%. So that's not exactly what the Hawks want. Lakers out-rebounded the Hawks 28-20. Those are positive numbers, things that also equal wins. Lakers turn the ball over, though, 9 times. Atlanta only 4. The 9 turnovers is extremely frustrating for the Lakers. When you look at the 9 turnovers and you're going, okay, well, let's double that up. We've only played 1 half of basketball. It's way too many. Championship teams don't turn the ball over this much. It's one of those things that the Lakers, I know, want to fix. Austin Reeves talks about it often. He knows that's the weak part of his game. He wants to be the so-called point guard on this team and for Austin Reeves to turn the ball over. I know it's frustrating for him, but we want to see the ball in his hands too. If you recall back in 2020, LeBron James was the one who handled the ball the most. And even though the Lakers won a championship, it's a lot to ask for a 40-year-old person to be the guy that has to bring the ball up the court. So Austin Reeves wants that role. He said he had it in high school. He talks about it as far as, hey, I was a point guard at one time. My job was to get the ball to my brother when I was a freshman, and he enjoyed it. And if anyone ever plays pickup basketball, it's always fun being the point guard. LeBron James, we need to save his legs, save his energy for other aspects of the game. And so if Austin Reeves can take over those duties and come up with the assists like he's been doing, this is going to help this Laker team out for a long time. Lakers scored 7 points off the Hawks turnovers. The Hawks only scored 4. So it didn't hurt the Lakers, and that's rare. It's one of those where you're playing with fire. So the Hawks only scored 4 off of 9 Laker turnovers. Good teams are going to kill the Lakers for that. The Lakers can't have it happen. Hawks scored 36 points in the paint compared to the Lakers only had 30. If you watch this game from the very beginning, it was the Lakers that dominated in the paint at the beginning. Hawks completely took that over, though, in the second quarter. So at the half, when you're looking at what the Lakers had with a 65-57 lead, the Lakers obviously more room to get a little bit better, to improve on things, and hopefully for them to come out and consistently put together good halves on both sides and come out after a halftime speech or whatever is going on, whether the guys are using the restroom, getting something to drink, talking to trainers, that those guys are able to come out and put together a good third quarter and start to put teams away. We'll talk about the second half in just a second, but first want to mention the people over at FanDuel. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get on the regular season action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Don't forget FanDuel, so many different ways to pick up that W. If you love picking games, picking players, if you're like me and you get that hunch and you're saying, man, there's some big games and there's some big NFL games coming up this weekend with some crazy lines, this might be the weekend for you. Look, the Sunday night game is the game of the year to watch between the Lions and the Vikings, but there's so many games that maybe you'll have interest in. Check out FanDuel. Not only can you bet on who you think will win the game, but FanDuel also has bets for you, which players will score a touchdown, how many points each team will score, and also who will score first. So much more. Don't forget FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your chance at $250 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Again, taking your comments today as well. Lakers win. They finished this homestand 3-1 before they take off to Houston to play the Rockets, and then they have the Mavericks on this brief 2-game road trip. But want your comments as well. What do you think about this Laker team? Do you like what you're seeing? Are you happy with the moves that J.J. Redick has made? We'll get into those guys in just a second as well. But let's finish talking about where we are in the game. So we'll pick things up in the third quarter for the Lakers. Austin Reeves, 11 points in the quarter to give him 15 and 6 assists through 3. That's big. Austin Reeves, again, came out after the halftime speech and ready to go. 11 points in the quarter. That's good. Austin Reeves has been playing great basketball. We want to see that, continue to go that way. Trae Young, he caught fire. And this is what we said. Trae Young always does. In the third quarter, Trae Young decided to turn it on. If you're like me, you look at Trae Young and you always wanted him in a Laker uniform. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I mean, we've all imagined great players wearing the Laker uniform, but Trae Young to me is a lesser version of what Steph Curry is. What Trae Young does in the Laker games that we see is that he comes off, kind of passive, and then he jumps in and he has that big moment. For the game tonight, he turned it on in the second half. Steph Curry is not a guy that does that. Trae Young, if he wants to take that next step in his career, he needs to be the guy that dominates for 4 quarters and isn't afraid to sit there and start throwing them up every time he gets an opportunity. He wants to facilitate more, it seems like, than score the points. But how many guys can shoot like Trae Young? How many guys can shoot like Steph Curry? Take advantage of it. It's one of those things where he's going to be a great player his entire career, but that next step of being compared to the greatest shooters of all time, it's one of those things I think hurts him. But 14 points in the quarter, gave him a total of 23 points and 9 assists through 3. He's awesome. We all know he's awesome, and that's what we all always think about. Man, why can't the Lakers pull off a deal for Trae Young? The Hawks are never going anywhere. This is a guy that should be wearing a Laker uniform. Everybody knows the story. Trae Young, LeBron James. Trae Young's known LeBron since he was a little kid. it would be a perfect fit for the Lakers. It doesn't look like it's ever going to happen, though. Hawks only had 5 turnovers as a team through 3 quarters. That's it, 5. It's amazing they weren't winning this game, but they couldn't score off the Laker turnovers. The Lakers had 16 turnovers through 3 quarters. LeBron James, who had 23 points and 8 assists through 3. Anthony Davis, 19 points, 16 rebounds through 3. Austin Reeves, again, with the turnovers hurts because remember, the Hawks had 5 total. Austin Reeves had 5 by himself. Anthony Davis had 4. And so for the Lakers, it got a little bit sloppy. In the fourth quarter for the Lakers, look, they took control of the game. They did what good teams are supposed to do. Lakers, again, go at it, and they stick it to the Hawks, and they play well. And so for the Lakers, what they did, they finished it out in fashion, and big things happened in the quarter. Lakers outscore the Hawks 23-16. Defense stepped up. The Hawks couldn't put a rally together. Things didn't go the Hawks' way. But there was a big moment in the game. There's a record-setting moment in the game, and it's LeBron James, who just turned 40 a week ago. LeBron James, again, with a great night, but LeBron James sets another NBA record. 563 times in his career, he has scored 30 or more points. That passes Michael Jordan. Now, you can sit there and say, well, how many games did Jordan play compared to how many games LeBron played? It doesn't matter. The record is it's LeBron James. That's the way it goes. So when everyone wants to know in the future, hey, you know who has the most 30-point games in NBA history? It's LeBron James. We're in a Laker uniform. You're going to see his number retired with all the other Laker greats. And so for LeBron James, good for him. LeBron James, again, back-to-back nights where he's able to put the ball in the basket, had the hot hand. Lakers, again, will have a night off tomorrow. And, man, they'll get on an airplane and they'll go to Houston. Let's see if he can continue his great shooting on the road. But for LeBron James, he finishes with 30 points on the night, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Anthony Davis, interesting night for Anthony Davis. This is all effort. I love effort games. Anthony Davis, who we've seen sometimes where the effort's not there and it becomes frustrating. We saw it before when they played Miami, and we've seen it a few times in other games where great players aren't supposed to play like this. Anthony Davis, he finished with 18 points. Not impressed? Well, guess what? He had 19 rebounds. 19 rebounds. More rebounds than he had points. That's incredible. Anthony Davis did all this in 37 minutes. He had 4 turnovers, which was a little bit frustrating, but he cut the turnovers down. All those turnovers came earlier on, basically stopped turning the ball over. The 4 turnovers, though, were a little bit frustrating. And so for Anthony Davis, also contributed 4 assists. Lakers, good ball movement tonight. If you're watching what the Lakers are doing and you look at the good teams in basketball, the ball movement's insane. And for the Lakers to get the ball in the right hands of the right people and stop, having the shot clock run out to 0 and have guys like Cam Reddish fire them up just to beat the shot clock, those days have to stop. And I think the Lakers are really more conscious on doing a better job of doing that. So next up, Austin Reeves, as we said, he's been playing very good basketball. Austin Reeves had a good and bad night tonight. Austin Reeves with 20 points. And again, Austin Reeves had 6 assists. The turnovers, though, bother you because even though he had 6 assists, he also had 6 turnovers, 7 rebounds for Austin Reeves. And to show the team guy, what we talk about all the time about Rui, I'll get into Rui's stats in a second. I think you have to tip your hat to Max Christie. Max Christie had 28 just last night, but they didn't need Max Christie's offense. What they needed was Max Christie's defense and to being a guy that was a complete team player while he was on the floor. Max Christie only shot the ball 4 times tonight. 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 3-point shots, and finished with 9. But you know what? The Lakers get the win, and that's all that matters. And if you listen to Max Christie, it sounds like he's thinking team first, and that's what the Lakers need. They don't need Max Christie to be a superstar, a guy that thinks, hey, I'm an all-star. Max Christie, I think, has found his role with his team, and things are moving in the right direction. All the guys on the Lakers in the starting 5 in the plus category. That's big. The other starter on the Lakers is Rui. And Rui, as we said before, 6 points in the first quarter. He finishes with 13 in 24 minutes, made 6 of 9 shots, which means he didn't shoot, an enormous amount, which is fine because you have other guys on the team that are going to take more shots. But he was 1 of 3 from 3-point range, missed his only free throw. But for Rui, that's the kind of ball you want to see. 13 points, 8 rebounds in 24 minutes, complete team player. And that's what we love about Rui. For the Lakers, you'd like to see more production off of their bench. You have Dorian Finney-Smith, who just came over from the Nets. Still hasn't found his way. It's only been, a few days. It's only been 3 games. Let's see what he can finish with. But tonight in 23 minutes, he looked like he felt more of what we're supposed to see from Dorian Finney-Smith. When we look at a player that is supposed to be a guy that's a very good two-way player, great defensive player, and also a decent offensive player, a guy that plays with a little bit of the chip on his shoulder, something that I always think championship teams need. And hopefully he's a good fit. Hopefully Rob Pelinka in this trade, and he was the key piece of this trade, finds his way and helps out a little bit more offensively. But he finished with 8 points in 23 minutes, 5 rebounds, and not bad. No turnovers, not bad. No blocks, no steals, no assists, but 5 rebounds, 8 points for him. He's finding his way, hopefully getting better. Cam Reddish's minutes were down tonight, only 12 minutes for him, 3 points total. That was a 3-pointer he had. Jackson Hayes, after starting last night, added 3 points in 10 minutes. The interesting thing for Jackson Hayes, only 1 rebound. 1 rebound, no block shots. And for him, you expect to see a little bit more of that. And for Shake Milton, of course, also came over in the Nets trade. 2 points, did not make a shot in 13 minutes. He shot the ball 3 times, missed all 3 shots. 2 of them were 3-pointers, missed those. He did make 2 free throws, and that kind of worked out. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So 4 assists in 13 minutes. Laker fans will take that. Lakers will take that along with the strong defense. Dalton Knecht finished with 13 overall in 14 minutes. Dalton Knecht only had 2 after the first half. I'd like to have seen him get more minutes, more shots off, but 4 of 7 from the field. 3 of those were 3-point shots for him, 4 rebounds. And Dalton Knecht's a guy who in 14 minutes, I would love to see him become a guy that shoots the ball a lot more frequent to see what Dalton Knecht can do. So overall for the Lakers, they're moving in the right direction, and guys are finding their way and finding their spot on this team. And we'll see how things go from there. But we'll got to check everything out. We'll look at what the Hawks did, and also we'll look at what the Lakers stand as far as playoff picture goes and where they rank right now. But first, want to mention the people over at Gametime. Look, if you like going to live events like me, whether it's sports, music, theater, or comedy, one of my favorite memories, of course, is attending concerts. And when you talk about being with your friends and you're creating great memories through life, a lot of times it's at concerts and the music that brings it together. Also, the energy and the excitement. Don't forget it. It's unforgettable. But at the same time, also, if you're like me and you like going to the games in person, and whether it's taken in a new arena or a new stadium, and you have those memories with family and friends, there's nothing like it. Gametime makes that all possible. They make it even easier to get tickets to your favorite events with their new feature, Gametime Picks. This feature filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Also, don't forget your chance, if you're looking to look at the Major League Baseball schedule, that it's already out, and you're saying, man, I want to start visiting different ballparks. I want to get a chance to get to all 30. I'm in the process of doing that as well. It's a great time to go through Gametime, because that's exactly what I do to make sure that I find amazing deals on tickets to ballparks I've never been to. Look, you can find great deals right there at Gametime. No surprises. Everything is right there on the app. All includes pricing, the shows, the costs, everything up front. No surprise fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Also, again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA. It's LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Gametime app today. What time is it? It is Gametime. Real simple right there for you to get involved and see your favorite events coming up. So, again, Lakers, they win 119-102. For the Hawks, a little disappointed, I'm sure, for them, because they have back-to-back road games. Even though they stay in the same city, they'll face the Clippers tomorrow. But for the Hawks, they'll go face a Clipper team where Kawhi Leonard's finally coming back. Okay. And at the same time, who stepped up for the Hawks? Well, it was Trae Young. Trae Young in 36 minutes, 33 points. Did he wait too long to start shooting? Maybe he did, but for the Lakers' benefit, it worked out. 33 points, 9 assists for Trae Young. Outstanding players. We mentioned earlier in the show. He's an all-star. He's a guy I'd love to see in Los Angeles, just like all of you. But here's the deal. 33 points, 9 assists, all for nothing. His team only scores 102 points. Jalen Johnson finished with 19 points, 8 rebounds. So the Lakers held Jalen Johnson below his normal rebound numbers, but also held Trae Young below his normal assist numbers. So the defense is getting better for this team. For the Lakers, bench-wise, it was kind of similar to what the Hawks did, meaning total points. But overall, for the Lakers, we'd like to see the Lakers step up. There aren't too many people are predicting that the Hawks are going to be a playoff team, a team that meaning that they can make a run. They'll be a playoff team, but not the kind of team that's going to make a run at the Celtics or at the Cavs. Whereas the Lakers, who knows where the limit is for this team? They have two of the best players of all time on their current roster. How far can the Lakers go? That's the big question. So for me, I like what I saw tonight. I like the fact that they finished 3-1 on this 4-game homestand, heading on the road against the Rockets, a team that's in front of them in the standings. Will be a great test on Sunday. But also don't forget they're going to face a Mavericks team without Luka, which is big as well. So Lakers win, guys, in the chat. Craig says Austin Reeves has to take better care of the ball. 6 turnovers. Craig couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Craig also excited about, of course, LeBron James. And the team has improved defensively. And the team has. And that's why, you saw Rob Pelinka make these trades. It wasn't one of those shiny trades where, hey, I want to see what that guy looks like with that team's uniform. It wasn't one of those. But at the same time, it might have been a very good basketball trade, meaning that it is solid for what the Lakers are trying to do moving forward and chasing that championship, catching up with the Boston Celtics for most championships in NBA history. So, Daniel, I see you're excited for the big win, and so am I. 119-102, big win, and I'll take every single one of them. I still don't know what the identity is. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think as well. What is the identity of this team? Is this going to be a defensive team? Is this going to be a star-driven team? Has JJ Redick found his way as a coach? Still not exactly sure. I still question some of the usage of timeouts. When you can see when other teams go on a run, I wish he would go the old Pat Riley fashion of stopping those as quick as he can with a timeout. I understand you're trying to save timeouts, but Pat Riley was so good at it. You could feel it. You could feel it whether you're at the game or if you were at home watching. When other teams started to gain momentum and go on their runs, Pat Riley was quick with the quick timeout. And for JJ Redick, he doesn't do it. Phil Jackson did it different, where first half of the season, Phil Jackson let players just kind of play through it. My theory was Phil Jackson just didn't want to coach any of the All-Star games, and the team with the best record at the time was the coach that would coach the All-Star game, and he wanted those days off. So he coached completely different in the first half of the season than he did in the second half of the season. But for me, I wanted to see JJ Redick kind of figure that out a little bit. It's frustrating when the guys look like they need a breather and guys are looking to the side like, you're going to call a timeout here? We kind of need one, and he doesn't do it. It becomes frustrating. So let's see where the Lakers stand right now. If the playoffs began today, what I always say the magic number for the Lakers is the Lakers need to be a top 4 seed to make a serious run in the playoffs. You're going to be surprised tonight. Oklahoma City Thunder, they're still number 1. They've won 14 games in a row. They are on fire. They're ridiculous. 29-5, Oklahoma City is. Memphis Grizzlies, they're second seed. They're 23-12. 23-12, very good record. Still 6.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. Houston Rockets, who the Lakers will see on Sunday. Rockets are the 3 seed. And guess who's number 4? I've been saying it all year long. Let's get to number 4. Lakers are number 4. Lakers are 20-14, 9 games back of Oklahoma City, but only 2 games behind the Houston Rockets. Lakers can take another step moving up in the standings. Let's get higher. Let's get a little bit closer. Let's get some home court advantage here once the postseason begins. Lakers have moved up to the 4 seed. A very good sign for this team. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Lakers, again, are 20-14 on the season. Behind the Lakers, you have the Nuggets at 19-14. You have the Mavericks, who, as we said, would fall without Luka. They have lost 4 straight games. The Mavericks are the 6th seed and continue to fall. LA Clippers, let's go Hawks tomorrow night. Clippers host the Hawks. They're 19-15. They're a 7th seed. San Antonio Spurs, the 8th seed at 18-16. Warriors in the 9th seed, and Minnesota is the 10th seed. Minnesota, so many people had huge hopes for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they're about a 500 team right now, and they've struggled. They've lost their last 2 games. They're a 500 basketball team in their last 10 games. And again, on the outside looking in, and this is interesting to watch because there are players in every one of these teams that you're saying, man, I wonder if that guy could be moved. Phoenix, not in the playoffs. Sacramento, not in the playoffs. Portland, not in the playoffs. Utah, not in the playoffs. New Orleans at 6-29. Pitiful. Not in the playoffs. In the East, you have the Cavs. They're 30-4, first in the East, and then they are rolling. Cavs have won 9 straight games. Boston Celtics still at number 2. They've won 3 straight games. And then really, I think most people say those are the 2 best teams, followed by the Knicks, Magic, Bucks at 5, Heat at 6. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jimmy Butler, who maybe a Laker fan said, man, I'd like to see Jimmy Butler in a Laker uniform, a veteran, guy that's getting up there in age, has been suspended by the Heat for a week now. And what did he expect when Jimmy Butler basically says, I'm not happy here. I don't love basketball anymore. I got to find my love. Well, Jimmy Butler has created a whole mess for himself, for Pat Riley, for the Miami Heat. That's their problem. I'm glad Jimmy Butler's not a Laker. I'll be honest with you. So, again, Laker basketball continues on Sundays, a 4 o'clock tip-off. So if you're watching the NFL on Sunday and you're saying, well, can I go from NFL to NBA? You can, because the games basically start at 1 o'clock for both the Chargers and for the Rams. So you flip on over after watching, let's say, the Chargers-Raiders game, and you can catch Laker basketball. I will be with you, though, for the post-game show. Again, Locked On Lakers. It is exciting. Brian and Andy do a great job daily. I'm here for the post-game. Locked On Lakers post-game. Don't forget Locked On Los Angeles as well. These shows can be heard anywhere you get your podcast, but I thank everybody for joining me. Very excited about this win. Lakers win over the Hawks. A reminder, 119-102. I will see you on Sunday after hopefully another Laker win against the Rockets. Congratulations again to LeBron James, 563 times now. He has scored 30 or more points in a game. Long live the king. Great job, LeBron. We'll see everybody on Sunday. Thank you so much.